Hey y'all, I'm Krystal and welcome back to my Texas garden. So today I thought I'd give you guys a little update on what's going on here in the garden. Now if you're new around here, welcome. And if you're all about gardening naturally, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and don't forget to smash the bell icon so you're notified every time I post a new video. Welcome to the jungle, y'all. Right now I'm standing in my loofah tunnel. I love it. The bees buzzing all around me, all the hanging loofah and different squashes that I have in here. It is probably my favorite part of the garden this year. So today's little mini tour is going to be this squash and loofah tunnel. And then also I'm going to take you over and show you how the sweet potatoes are doing and show you the little issue we've got going on with the tomatillos. So this is one of the Kakutsi squash or Kakutsi gourd. It's technically speaking, it is a gourd. A lot of people call it squash. They use it young like a squash. And here are one of the fruits right here. I don't know if you can see it. We've got it back in here. That's where it starts. And then it goes all the way down. All the way down. It is probably right at about 3 foot long. There it is, right there. And this is ready to be harvested and eaten. And then we have another one hiding away in here. It's much, much younger. Kind of hard to see, I know, guys. Now, this is the first year growing this this gourd or this squash, whatever you want to call it. It's very popular in Italy, and also I've learned it's very popular in the Asian culture. They just call it different things. Here is one of a baby fruit, and then we've got, that's a male bloom. So this, just like regular squash, we have male and female blooms. The one thing that I do want to mention is how soft the leaves are. They are so incredibly soft. And it was funny because when we first started this garden, the pandemic was starting and we had the shortage of the toilet paper. I told the kids jokingly that I was growing toilet paper out here. There's another one back there, and that one's ready to come out too. And we have another younger one right here. It looks like we've got some bug damage. There's a little bug right there. Can you see it? Bug no more. So a little bit of bug damage, no big deal. Come out, pick the bugs off. That's just kind of what happens when you have no pesticides in your garden. You're going to have pest, and that's really no big deal. This is a male flower. It is spent. They're really, really pretty and white. I don't see any out here that are freshly opened. They're absolutely gorgeous. All right, so moving on, right here, we have got loofahs. Here they are right here. I've got a baby loofah right here, and then I've got some bigger ones right here, right there. And then also, they come in different colors, just on the same, like here's a light color one, and here's a darker color one, right next to each other. Same plant, guys. Same plant. And here is a baby lighter one. As some of you may not know, that loofahs are actually edible. You don't want to eat them when they're this size because they're just too fibrous. I mean, you can, but you'll just never chew it up. You want to eat them very, very young. This is kind of pushing the limits right here, because once they get too big, then the seeds and the fiber kind of take over. And this one right here is kind of the perfect size for eating. They're very sweet. This lighter one is a lot sweeter than the dark green ones. Now, the dark green ones that I'm growing are sweet. My mom has told me that you do have to be careful because some are bitter, like a bitter melon. So before you actually cook with it, taste it. And raw, to me, they taste like cucumber. Another loofah. So this is a male flower that has not opened up yet. And this is a male flower that has opened. I think they're gorgeous. The one thing I want to note about the loofahs is that the male flowers don't just come out once and die. They actually, if you look here, they actually will produce flowers over and over and over. I mean, this one's produced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 flowers. And here's another one that's going, as soon as this one dies off, this one will pop open. Really, really neat. We've got lots of bees, and we even have wasps that come in here. So this one right here is a lighter color loofah, and you can see it's starting to turn brown. It's almost ready to harvest out. And I have been, because I don't know any better, this is my first year growing loofah, I've just been letting them go brown on the vine. So if that's not the way you do it, let me know in the comment section. This one right here is huge. Look at that. My hand for size comparison. And it's about 2 foot long, huge. And then we have one up here that decided to look like a banana. So this section right here is zucchini Rampakante. Y'all know I have trouble with words sometimes. So here we are. This is some of the fruit right here. This plant is really, really neat. It's technically a winter squash. However, you can harvest it out young like this, and you know it's young because it's green. No matter the size, as long as they're green, that's still considered young. So you harvest them out young and use them like zucchini. Or you can let them turn a very manila color and there make a very good winter squash. This one blooms just like a regular zucchini plant. You know, it blooms once and then dies back. Hey, ooh, bumblebee. Hi, Mr. Bumblebee. Hello. Look, bumblebee butt. One thing I've noticed, this is not the first time I've grown it, but one thing I've noticed about the this zucchini Rampakante, is that it's not a very good neighbor, and it will take over everything. These are all planted out 4 foot apart, and you can just see they have just kind of taken over everything. And y'all, that's a view of the top of the trellis. Isn't that cool? I just love it. Okay, so this next section that we're coming into is going to be the new long beans. These long beans were just recently planted within the last couple of months. Some of them a couple of months, some of them a month, some of them just a couple of weeks. The reason why the ladder is here is because I have been busy tying these guys up. I still have a couple of more to finish off and tie up, but that's what they look like, and they're just growing. Some more over here. That one has almost reached the top of the trellis. So this guy over here, check that out. We're ready for our top trellis. We're going to make this a tunnel just like we did the front. And we are getting ready for blooms. Yeah. And I still have some open spaces that I will be planting more seeds. So what I have found is that 2 plants per person will keep you in fresh beans before the quality of the beans start to go down. So my recommendation is planting in succession. I would do it every 2 weeks. Plant out, 2 plants per person in your family every 2 weeks, and that's going to keep you in long beans for a very long time. And this one right here is getting ready. We're getting ready to have beans. It's happening fast. And here are the sweet potatoes. Oh my goodness. Okay, if these green tops are any indication of what's under the ground, we're going to be sweet potato rich this year. Y'all remember I started these slips from 2 purple sweet potatoes that I bought at HEB, and they weren't marked organic, but I'm assuming they were organic, and this is what they produced. And I did give some of the slips away, just a couple, 2, 3, and but this is the rest of them. Let me get down low. You can kind of tell it's mounding up here in the center. So the mounding usually tells me that we've got potatoes under the ground, just from my experience. So yeah, I'm excited. So what you may not realize is that the sweet potato greens, the greens themselves are actually edible and very good for you. They're very high in vitamin C. So the part of the greens that you want to eat, the leaves, you can cook these down, and just the tip of the just the tip right here, just the tip of the plant. Everything else, this stalk right here is going to be just too hard to chew. And as you can see right through here, I've got to go through here and trim all these greens back. And so we'll be having those for dinner tonight, just because otherwise they're just going to come on over and take over my beans area, and we can't have that. So you remember a couple of videos back, I found a couple of eggplants that were buried in weeds, and I pulled them out, and I put the cardboard around and then stacked up the hay around them. Here is one today. Now I did transplant the other one, but it did not survive. But check this one out. It's 2 foot tall, and it's only been about a month. And you can see we've got blooms down here. We have blooms, but no fruit. Not yet. This is a lemon squash right here. I did plant out an entire row of lemon squash, but the chickens got in here and dug out the seeds. And as you can see, it's time to put more hay down. Here's another lemon squash right here. So this is another area I've got to come and cut all of the sweet potatoes back because they've encroached too far over this way. This is a pepper plant in here. This is probably spread out a good 10 foot, easily. And so it's encroached over here where it wasn't supposed to be. So I'll come in later today and prune back all of the sweet potatoes that are around it, and stake this guy up so that he can battle it out with the sweet potatoes. Remember when I said the chickens got in here and ate my lemon squash? Well, they also decimated these 2 little jalapeno plants. They might make a recovery. They might not. That's a ghost pepper. They also ate that down at one point too. So these are chili peppers right here. They're around 4 foot tall. They did not come in and kill those for some reason. I guess they're just too big, but they did eat a lot of the peppers off of them. And by the way, you would think that this would take days and days and days. No, it did not. It took a matter of hours. For those of you who don't keep chickens, they can really tear things up in just a short amount of time. So yeah, they got my peppers. This is another ghost pepper plant right here, and it looks like they did do some damage to the bottom leaves. But that's okay. But I see blooms right there. I see blooms. Okay, so moving on. This is going to be the last part of our tour. I have an issue with my tomatillos. Something has eaten my tomatillos. I can't figure out what it is. So this plant right here was big and gorgeous, and it was, green and beautiful, and something has killed it. I'm not too sure what. Whatever killed it in a matter of a day and has moved on. But you also see I've got damage over here. That plant right there. I've got some damage right here. I've got some damage right here. But for some reason, that's kind of where it stops, because this tomatillo plant is doing great. So I'm going to come in, pull these guys out, the ones that are bad off, and see if I can't pinpoint what the possible problem was. To me, it has to be something that attacked at the roots. I mean, I see a little bug damage like on this plant right here, but yeah, it was just a matter of days. If you guys have an idea, Comment below. I'd love to hear what you think it could be. And before we go, let me show you how those seeds we planted the other day for the fall garden are coming along. And also, let me show you the wonderful gift of seedlings I got from a subscriber and great friend. For more great gardening videos, go ahead and click right here and I'll meet y'all over there.